Welcome again to Coull Discussions, guys. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for giving us a little bit of your time. Today we're going to talk a little bit about something that's in the entertainment side of the news. As we all know, the Oscar nominations came out, earlier this week?
Yep.
Earlier this week, and there has been a whole bunch of talk about it.
Yep.
And the reason that there's been a whole bunch of talk about it is because, 24?
White,
all of them are all white.
white.
They're all white. So
out of the 20 nominations for actors, all of them are white.
Every single one of them are white. Now, there has been a few big-name actors who have come out on either side of this saying, hey, we're boycotting the Oscars, and there's been people saying, well,
if you boycott the Oscars, you're being racist against white people.
Yeah, you're being racist against white people, and it's like, okay. So we're going to talk a little bit about this subject. This could be a touchy subject, ladies and gentlemen. Who knows?
Okay, so in the Oscar nominations, it was generally assumed that two black actors got snubbed. Will Smith in Concussions and the actor from Creed.
Yeah.
In the Oscars' defense, I don't think either one of us have seen any of the movies up for nominations.
No.
None.
Isn't Star Wars up for something? Are they for Best Picture?
Best Picture.
Yeah.
But I've seen... Okay, Best Picture, they have 10 nominations. 5 of them are just thrown in there to make the masses happy. Whereas only 5 are actually going to be for consideration. There's no way Star Wars is going to win.
So now I would just like to say something. This is a big problem for the Oscars, obviously, but I also think there's a lot of underlying things that the Oscars do wrong, and that's one of them right there, is that now they have 10 Best Pictures, before they only had 5, right?
Yep.
And they'd always be films that you never heard of. They were always things that you're like, what is this?
Now,
why? How come The Dark Knight that made $4 bazillion isn't nominated?
Well, in the Oscars' defense, again, for all the previous years, I have seen at least one of the movies nominated for an Oscar.
So you've seen 20%.
I've seen 20%, at least 20%.
That's not even a pass, that's an F.
that may be true, but, you've never seen, you've probably seen some of them now.
I don't even know them I don't even know the 10 nominated, so I know Star Wars is one, so that's it.
Revenant is another one, but
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, neither have I, and you know what, I had no interest in seeing most of them, actually. Star Wars, obviously, but that one's just a throwaway, basically. So, yes, there's an underlying situation here.
But this is...
the average age of the Academy Award people that figure out nominations is 63, and they're all white, at least according to news sources.
No, they're the president of the Academy. He's a black
and I saw that, and it's like, so they're maybe not all white, but you know what? For the most part,
so
they're all old white people.
Do you think it's racist? Do you think it's racist what the Academy has done?
Yes, simply because last year as well, there were no non-white people nominated in the acting category.
Yeah, I looked at the last 3 years, and over the last 3 years, and this is only in the acting Best Actress and Best Actor. There's only been two black people nominated that I could find in these categories over the last 3 years.
So
is there? It's hard to say. Is there some sort of race behind it? Is there racism behind it? Is what they're doing? Is it racism?
To a degree,
simply
because
maybe. It does look like it, I suppose.
It does come across as racist because, as I said, Will Smith was snubbed. As far as everybody was saying, he was snubbed because he should have been a contender for his movie. And, fine, I get that. I actually didn't even know Creed was coming out, for that matter, so I thought it was coming out next year. So I was like, oh, wait, it's actually out? Oh, okay. So still not interested in seeing it, but I guess the guy who plays Apollo Creed's son, he had a really spectacular role, again, according to what people are saying. I haven't seen it, so I couldn't tell you. In regards to nominations, well, all the movies that come out, there are very few non-white people in starring roles. So it's really hard to get...
So is that a problem in Hollywood then? Or are we not representing the minorities? From my... I don't think that somebody should be forced... There shouldn't be a quota of minorities that you have to have. It should be, I'm making a film, I should be able to get the best possible people, regardless of
True.
skin color, language, anything. If
True.
I'm making a film, I want the best people that I can get. You know what I mean? I want George Clooney in every movie. I want Denzel Washington in every movie type thing. You know what I mean? So, like, to put... I feel like it would put a handcuff. Like, if the Oscars are going to be forced to...
Have
you know,
30% nominees.
Yeah, it's
of
like, well...
color. Okay, at that point in time, you might have to reach for nominees. But when the Oscar does, like, do Best Supporting Actor or Actress... They do actually sometimes really reach about who they classify as a supporting actor. So yeah, in that situation, it's quite easy to go, you know what, this guy was in it, and even though his role, he was only in the first act, his performance was really amazing.
Yeah.
Supporting actor or actress,
Yeah.
right? You could do something like that. Actor and actresses are a lot harder because they are the main roles of the movies. And unless you basically get Denzel Washington, Samuel L. Jackson, or Morgan Freeman, you really don't have a lot of other black actors. Will Smith will show up, but generally, yeah, there isn't a lot of colored roles out there. And so that could be hurting people. There aren't a lot of black directors, so, you know, that's going to hurt things too.
Well, somebody came out and then was, you know, it... Like, we have the BET Awards.
Yep.
Okay, and what does that stand for? Black Entertainment Awards.
Yep.
That's recognizing all African American black people.
Yep.
In Hollywood.
Is it Hollywood?
I believe so. Like,
isn't it just
in movies and entertainment. Sorry, I guess it does have music too. Yeah. Sorry. But
only black people,
yeah,
right?
I was looking at the nominations there, and there was not one white person. So I don't. That's one thing that I don't understand. How come
the BETs can do that, but the Oscars can't?
Yeah. If we had a WET, it would be
white
the worst. It would be the worst thing in the world, would it not?
It would be classified as racist right
Like,
off the bat.
I don't care. Like, if people have like a midget entertainment awards, I don't care. Go ahead. You want to recognize the people? Go ahead. I'm totally cool with that. Yeah. But then you can't get mad at other people when they try to do the same thing.
But the Oscars are supposed.
Absolutely, the Oscars are not. They're not the white man awards.
True, they are supposed to be about all film. However, because it is Hollywood, and considering who are part of the Oscar nomination process, it's going to come across as white. Now, because of the public backlash of what happened, they are going to be making some major changes to the Oscar nomination bid.
Not to the nominations, are they? Just
no.
The board of the Oscars.
Yeah, the board, yeah. The members of the Oscar community who actually decide who gets voted.
Yeah.
So they're going to be putting it on a 10-year term. So a person will be a member for 10 years. After that, they have to
be in a film. They have to be involved in Hollywood, in a film somewhere to continue on.
Yeah, they have to be active in these past 10 years. If they're not active, they're automatically out. Yeah. If they are active, they can be renewed. Yeah. Can, not necessarily will. The president of the Oscars, she's setting up a board that are going to vet nominees for the Oscar process, or the Academy Award people, and people that vote to set up these movies, vote what should be up for Best Picture, actor, actresses, etc., etc. The voting process is going to be a little different. People who are part of the 10-year term are going to be part of it. People who have won an Oscar or an Academy Award are going to be allowed to vote, and people who have let their tenure expire are still going to be members of the Academy Award process, but they're not going to get a vote.
I think it's time for the Oscars to kind of to do stuff like that, to step up and become more modern.
Yes.
They're very old school, it seems like, and it's like, everything's kind of passing them by, and it's like it's time for the Oscars to get a little bit younger, more modern, more.
I agree. There shouldn't be no reason at all why a superhero film can't have one of their members actually nominated for an Oscar.
Maybe they just suck.
But okay, if you watch an Oscar film and then you watch a superhero film, which one makes you cry?
Well, it depends.
Exactly.
Both
you know
could
what?
make you cry. Both could give you emotions.
Yeah, both of them could give you
have
emotions. One may not, and the other will.
Yeah.
And you know what? Why shouldn't the nomination be according to what actually provokes emotion? Because you know what? Kids nowadays are going to watch.
Or maybe the Oscars aren't meant to be that. Maybe the Oscars are, because there's tons of award shows out there that kind of recognize those mainstream movies. It's almost like the Oscars aren't mainstream. They have some of the mainstream
but
content.
They're not. They're not underground.
No, they're not underground.
either.
But you see some of the nominations, like especially for Best Picture, and you're like we said at the beginning of this, there's some in there. You're like, what movie is this? And you gotta go if you're interested. You go and you search, and you're like, oh, I never heard of this movie. Whereas you got what are some other awards shows? I don't even know because I don't watch award shows.
The Golden Globes.
There's a good one.
Actors Guilds. There's.
The Golden Globes, I think,
Emmys?
was a good one because they have more of the mainstream.
No, not really. The
No?
Golden Globes.
Maybe it's
okay.
just
Maybe I'm
Ricky
getting
Gervais is funny.
Maybe I'm getting the wrong sets. Wrong. Maybe I'm confusing them. But the Golden Globes is basically a precursor to the Oscars.
Yeah.
The people who win in the Golden Globes and who are nominated in the Golden Globes tend to be the ones who are nominated for Academy Awards, and the ones who win tend to be the ones that win. So it's kind of like, well, there's nothing. MTV Awards,
Yeah.
the Spike TV Awards.
I don't.
Those reward mainstream movies.
Yeah. And the People's Choice Awards.
Yeah, People's Choice. You know, those ones are the ones that award mainstream stuff.
I just wonder. It all comes back to this, and you're probably going to hear me say this a lot over the show. Is what is your end game? Why are you coming out? Okay, so Will Smith, his wife, and Spike Lee, and a whole bunch of people. Why are you coming out and doing this? What is your end game? What do you want? Do you want to be sympathy nominated?
Well, no. Maybe what it is like, you know, okay, all these people boycotted, and then all suddenly, I think it was literally just yesterday that the Academy Awards president said, you know what, we heard you guys. We're going to change.
Okay.
So that's a good thing.
Are the people who said they're going to boycott with these changes, are they going to come back?
I don't know. They might not have had time to think.
So if they're like, oh, these changes aren't what I was looking for, then their end game isn't what they did. So
True,
the Academy missed the mark. The Academy win.
But the people who boycotted didn't actually state, "Oh, we want this." They didn't make any demands.
Oh, it's not a demand, but don't you think if you're speaking out on something, if I'm coming and I'm going, I don't think minorities are represented, you know, and Will Smith said something in an interview I saw on the internet. He's like, the children are going to turn on the TV and not see themselves represented, and it's like, what are you talking about? The human race is represented in there, are they not?
Well, but okay, his argument is okay.
I know what his argument is. A black child is not going to see a black man on there.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to well.
But then, what do you? But then, as a parent, would I not be like, well, it doesn't matter the color of their skin. They did a great job in their field. They're being recognized for it. Mm-hmm. Their skin color doesn't matter. If you're pink, purple, fucking zebra, does that really matter? So. What are you creating if you're telling your child or somebody else that we're not represented because there's nobody with pink skin up there? We got pink skin and there's nobody up there with pink skin. What are you telling your child? Mm-hmm. Is that not what racism is? I don't know. Maybe I'm completely out to lunch. Maybe I'm fucking smoking a big crack pipe. I don't know. But is that not what it is?
Yeah.
Somebody correct me, honestly. If you want to bash me and tell me I'm racist, okay. Because I'm just asking a question. I'm going, is that not what it is? If I said to my son, hey, there's nobody with white skin on there, then we're not represented. What? Yeah,
Yeah,
there's somebody who did
Shouldn't-
very well in their
Shouldn't
field.
you be telling your son, it's like, hey, these are
These are the best in their field. This is the best in their field. This is what they strive to be.
Yeah.
And that's what they're getting awarded for. You know, and it's like,
it-
so what is Will Smith's endgame? What is Jada Pinkett's endgame? What is Spike Lee's endgame? What is it? If it's not what the Academy did, what is it? Come on,
Well, we'll have to.
tell me.
Unfortunately, that is a wait and see thing because Will Smith said this, and it was a couple days afterwards the Academy said what they said they're going to do. Now it could be. You know what? They might boycott it because they said they had to. Because if you say you boycott something and all of a sudden they change their mind,
Yeah, but wouldn't it be an acceptance and being, hey, you know what? I said my voice. I said my piece, and you guys made some changes that I find acceptable.
But these changes might be in voice only. Maybe if he continues to boycott until something does
Until he sees a
happen,
change, yeah, okay,
until
that
he
makes sense.
sees change, which is perfectly
Yeah.
acceptable. Because you don't want to look like you made a stand and then all of a sudden he backed off
Yeah.
and went, oh, okay, well...
yeah, that makes total sense, yeah.
So you kind of have to...
As long as there is an end game, as long as there is something that you're fighting for, as long as there's something that, like, you'll say it, equality from all races, but it's like, who's... Are we all creating inequality? Are we all part of the problem? Are we all causing it? Not just the white man or the brown man or the black man. Are we all do we all have a little bit of, skin in the game, so to speak?
And that, unfortunately, will be another topic because racism is
It's huge, it's deep, it's very, very deep,
and I guess it's all a matter of perspective.
Yeah.
We're both white people, so we
Yeah.
see the world different than somebody else.
Yeah.
And we will be able to talk about that. So join us for another episode. You can follow us on Facebook at Facebook/Coull Discussions, on Twitter at Coull Discussions, YouTube Coull Discussions, and thank you again for...
all the links will be below these videos, guys. Go to our Facebook page and comment. Tell us what you think.
Like us, dislike us, subscribe.
We like it
and
all.
you can listen to us on iTunes if you can't watch the
That's
videos.
right. iTunes, baby. Good night.
Good night.